Visit us on the web at nilfisku.com. Nilfisk University is the cleaning equipment industry's most comprehensive web-based training and interactive learning resource. Your degree in success is just a click away at Nilfisk University.
Welcome to Nilfisk University, where excellence is attained through active learning. In this course on Use and Care, we will be focusing on the Adfinity line of automatic scrubbers. This course is not intended to be a substitute for the operator's manual that ships with the machine. It is important that you read, understand, and follow all safety and operating instructions in the manual. Doing so will ensure years of safe operation and optimum performance from your machine. This course is an effective way to understand the operation of these machines through active learning. This Use and Care lesson covers 6 different models of Adfinity scrubbers. The features and use instructions for each are very similar, but will vary a bit depending on the model. Keep these differences in mind as we go through the training, as some of the illustrations may be slightly different than your machine, depending on which model you're using. Some models have traction drive, which means they are propelled under their own power, and some models have the EcoFlex onboard detergent dispensing option. The models covered by this training are the 17ST and 20ST. The main differences between these two models and the rest are that these two models do not have traction drive, nor do they have an EcoFlex option. Then there's the Adfinity 20D, which does have traction drive but does not have the EcoFlex option. The X20D is the same as the 20D, but does come with EcoFlex as an option. The X20C is configured with a cylindrical scrub deck. And the X24D features 2 12-inch pad holders or brushes to make a 24-inch scrub path. As you may have guessed, the 17ST has a 17-inch scrub path, and the models with the number 20 in their names have 20-inch scrub paths. Now let's review the outcomes for this course. After successfully completing this lesson, you will be able to explain how to inspect and prepare the machine for use, explain how to operate the machine including the various cleaning modes and how and when to use them, identify and explain the functions of each item on the control panel, understand how to inspect and prepare the machine for proper storage, and how to perform daily, weekly, and occasional maintenance tasks. For orientation purposes, let's take a quick look at the control panel and other items that will be used to control the machine during the scrubbing process. The control panels for the ST models and the traction drive models are different, but the button icons look very similar and have the exact same functions. The ST models have fewer features, so we'll take a look at the items that are common to all models first. The one-touch scrub switch stops and starts the machine. Next, there is the vacuum on-off switch. The solution increase and decrease switches are used to control the solution flow, and there is an indicator to show what the current setting is. The last common item is the battery gauge with its 3 status indicator lights. On the non-ST models, we also have a brush or pad driver click-off switch, which is used to conveniently remove the brushes or pads from the disc models. On cylindrical brush models, this button will not function. The next switch is the EcoFlex burst of power switch, which we will talk about in more detail later. This location is reserved for an optional hour meter. The detergent on-off switch has a digital electronic display below it that shows a numeric value and indicates the current detergent dilution ratio based on the 6 settings shown in the chart next to it. And last but not least is the key switch. The control handles are also different between the ST models and the traction drive models. The ST models are transported by the power of the user pushing or pulling on the handle. The other models are equipped with traction drive, and a drive pedal is used to control forward and reverse transport of the machine. There is also a speed control knob which can be used to set the maximum speed of the machine. Other items that will be used during the scrubbing process are the pedal that is used to raise and lower the scrub deck, and the lever that is used to raise and lower the squeegee. Now let's learn how to prepare the machine for use. If the machine is used on a daily basis, you should find the machine as it was left after it was used the day before. The recovery tank should be empty and clean. The recovery tank should have been raised to allow ventilation of the battery compartment during charging. The battery charger should be plugged into a wall outlet. The pad drivers or brushes should be clean and possibly left to dry nearby, and the squeegee should be clean and ready to use. Prior to use, the machine needs to be prepared and inspected. First, unplug the battery charger and store the cord by wrapping it around the cord holder. Now we can lower the recovery tank to its normal operating position. The next step is to inspect the brushes or pads. These should have been rinsed the last time the machine was used, so they should be relatively clean and free from any large debris. To remove brushes or pad holders, make sure the scrub deck is in the raised position by pushing down on the deck raising and lowering foot pedal until it locks into place. For machines equipped with disc scrub decks, pad holders or brushes can be easily removed by pressing the brush click-off switch. This feature spins the brush motors, then abruptly stops them to automatically dislodge the brushes or pad holders and drop them to the floor. Determine if there is enough brush or pad life for the scrubbing task you're about to perform, and if not, replace the pads or brushes as needed. Also make sure you have the correct pad or brush type for the scrubbing task that needs to be performed. To install brushes or pad drivers, place the brush or pad holder under the deck. Lower the deck onto the brush or pad holder using the deck raising and lowering foot pedal. On machines so equipped, turn the speed adjuster to idle by turning it counterclockwise. Press the one-touch scrub system switch. This will spin the brush motor and should engage the brush to the clutch plate. On machines with drive paddles, you will need to push the paddle forward slightly to make the brush motor spin. If necessary, repeat the procedure until the brushes or pad holders are engaged. You may need to move the machine slightly to center the brush or pad holder. To remove and inspect cylindrical brushes, raise the scrub deck using the foot pedal and then turn the hand wheel on the tools-free retention plate, pushing the plate and hand wheel downwards once loosened. To install the brushes, insert and wiggle into place so that the near end is flush, then install the retention plate and tighten the hand wheel. The same procedure applies for the two brushes on either side of the machine. On machines with a cylindrical scrub deck, you should also inspect the debris hopper and empty it if necessary. Make sure the recovery tank is empty and check the ball flow cage to make sure it is clean and that the ball moves freely. Clips on the side of the cage need to be open to remove the cage if cleaning is necessary. Inspect the squeegee blades to make sure they are ready for use and aren't torn or nicked. The squeegee blades have 4 working edges, so the blade can be flipped end for end or flipped top to bottom to expose a fresh working edge, all without tools. If all 4 edges are damaged, a new squeegee blade is needed. Lift the squeegee into place and attach it to the machine with the 2 thumb nuts. Do not over-tighten the squeegee as it is designed to break away if it hits an object. Once the squeegee is installed, attach the recovery vacuum hose. Now we are ready to fill the solution tank. Hot or warm water cleans better, but the water temperature should not exceed 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Fill the tank so the solution level is 2 to 3 inches below the fill port. If bulk detergent is to be mixed into the solution tank, fill the tank about 1/3 the way up with water, then add the detergent, then top the tank off with water. This will ensure good chemical mixing while filling the tank. Reference the dilution ratio for the chemical you are using and mix properly with the understanding that the solution tank capacity is 10.5 gallons on the Adfinity ST models and 14.5 gallons on all of the other Adfinity models. The solution drain hose is also a sight tube to gauge the level of solution in the tank. If an outboard detergent dilution system is used, like a wall-mounted station, fill the machine from this device. On machines equipped with EcoFlex, to take advantage of the machine's EcoFlex system, fill the machine with clean water only. When using the EcoFlex onboard detergent system, inspect the detergent cartridge to verify the correct detergent is being used and that there is enough detergent in the cartridge to complete the scrubbing task. Cartridges can be easily removed by detaching the connection. Multiple cartridges can be used for quick interchange of a variety of detergents without dumping the clean water in the solution tank. If your machine is equipped with an onboard chemical detergent system, we will need to program the machine to set the dilution ratio based on the chemical manufacturer's dilution instructions. Look on the label of the chemical bottle for the manufacturer's dilution instructions. If a ratio is not given, a percentage or a number of ounces per gallon may be given. If so, use the chart to convert to a ratio. Once the ratio is known, we can program the machine. To program the machine, turn the machine on and look at the detergent switch indicator. If the indicator is green, press the button to turn the chemical system off. Then press and hold the button until the digital display indicator flashes. Now you have entered change mode, and you can repeatedly tap the button to toggle through the available chemical mixing ratios indicated by the numbers 1 to 6. Stop tapping the button once the desired ratio is displayed, and after 2 seconds the selected ratio is locked into the machine. This full-strength detergent ratio will stay programmed into the machine until it is changed again using the same procedure. Before transporting the machine, you should verify that there is enough battery power to perform the scrubbing task. For ST machines, turn on the machine by pressing the scrub switch and look at the battery gauge. If the yellow or red indicator lights come on, turn off the machine by pressing the scrub switch again and plug the machine in to charge the batteries. If the light is green, you can drive the machine to the scrub location by pushing it using the handlebar. For machines equipped with traction drive, turn on the machine using the key and verify battery power by looking at the gauge. If the green light is lit, you are ready to scrub, otherwise plug the machine in to charge the batteries. The machine is controlled using the safety paddle system and a maximum speed control potentiometer. Push the handle forward to go forward and pull it back to go backward. The drive paddle gives you variable speed control depending on how far the paddle is tilted in either direction. Maximum speed is set with the speed control knob. This control sets maximum speed for both forward and reverse. Set this control to about halfway between the slowest and fastest speed. To start scrubbing, lower the deck to the floor using the foot pedal on the rear of the machine. Then lower the squeegee to the floor with the squeegee raise lower lever. Next, press the one-touch scrub switch. This will enable all systems for use and turn on the vacuum motor. On traction drive models, pressing the safety paddle forward will start the actual scrubbing function. The machine will move forward, water will begin to flow, and the brushes will begin to spin. For best results, move the machine at a slow walking speed. To pause scrubbing, release the paddle. The machine, solution flow, and brushes will all stop. To stop scrubbing, press the one-touch scrub button again. To turn off the vacuum, press the vacuum switch. The vacuum will continue to run for 10 seconds to help clear the vacuum hose and squeegee of any remaining water. Then lift the deck from the floor and raise the squeegee. Adfinity scrubbers feature 2 scrub pressure settings which can be changed using the deck raising and lowering foot pedal. The regular setting is when the deck is in the free floating position. This is the normal setting used for most cleaning tasks and will give you the longest run time. Extreme scrub is enabled by moving the deck foot pedal up and into the locked down position. Use this setting for the heaviest of soils. If the solution flow rate needs to be adjusted, it is simply a matter of pressing the solution flow rate increase switch or the flow rate decrease switch. There are 3 flow rates, low, medium, and high. Each setting uses 2 LEDs, so low is indicated by 2 LEDs, medium by 4 LEDs, and high will light all 6 LEDs. To turn solution off, simply tap the solution flow rate decrease switch until all the LEDs are extinguished. By default, the machine will scrub with the EcoFlex system in ultra-low detergent mode, which is indicated by a solid green light on the EcoFlex switch. In this mode, detergent is dispensed at the ultra-low ratio of 1 to 400. This enhances the cleaning power of plain water while minimizing both cleaning costs and the environmental impact from chemicals. Pressing the EcoFlex switch will call up a burst of power when needed to easily and temporarily increase solution flow and detergent ratio simultaneously. This burst of power will last for 1 minute, after which time the machine will return to its previous mode of operation. During this 60-second burst, the EcoFlex indicator will flash green, the solution flow rate will increase to the next higher level, and the detergent ratio will increase to full strength, or in other words, to the setting we programmed into the machine earlier based on the detergent manufacturer's recommended dilution ratio. During the last 10 seconds of the 60-second burst, the EcoFlex indicator light will flash faster to let you know the burst is coming to an end. You can also terminate the burst of power manually at any time during the 60 seconds by simply pressing the EcoFlex switch, which will return the machine to its previous mode. For longer periods of full detergent strength cleaning, press and hold the EcoFlex switch for 2 seconds. After doing this, the machine will continue to dispense detergent at full strength until the EcoFlex switch is pressed again. Cycling the key switch will not return the machine to the ultra-low detergent mode. When cleaning with full detergent strength, the EcoFlex switch indicator light will be off, and the chemical ratio indicated by the display will be the pre-programmed setting. To clean with no chemicals at all, press the detergent switch so that the indicator light turns off. In this mode, the machine is scrubbing with plain water only, which may be sufficient for lightly soiled areas and will provide the lowest possible impact on the environment. Eventually, the batteries may require charging, or the solution tank will run dry, or the recovery tank will become full. When the yellow battery gauge indicator is lit, the batteries will last a few minutes longer, depending on work to be performed. When the red battery indicator light comes on, all scrubbing functions will cease, but on models with traction drive, you will still have power to transport the machine. Drive the machine to a suitable area to drain the recovery tank. Once the recovery tank is empty, you can transport the machine to a service area to recharge the batteries. While the solution tank and recovery tank are the same size, in the event that more water is picked up than put down, the machine's recovery tank has a ball float valve that protects the vacuum motor from ingesting water. Once the ball float activates, the vacuum motor pitch will change to a higher pitched sound. When this occurs, transport the machine to a suitable location to empty the recovery tank. To empty, remove the recovery tank drain hose from its hanger. To avoid a sudden uncontrolled flow of wastewater, hold the end of the hose above the water level in the tank before opening the cap. Use your hand to clamp down on the hose to govern the rate of water flow to a rate that your drain will accept. Once the recovery tank is empty, you are of course going to do one of two things. Either you have more scrubbing to do, in which case you would go back and refill the solution tank, or you are done scrubbing and it's time to prep the machine for storage. We'll assume you are done scrubbing for the day and are ready to put away the machine until it is needed again. As we learned earlier about preparing the machine for scrubbing, we are now going to do the opposite procedure and prepare the machine for storage. The first thing to do is empty the recovery tank and rinse it out thoroughly to remove any and all debris from the tank. Make sure the recovery tank vacuum shutoff float is clean. Inspect the recovery and solution drain hoses and the vacuum hose and replace if kinked or damaged. Remove the squeegee, rinse it with warm water, and inspect it to make sure the blades are not ripped or torn. If they need to be changed or replaced, do that now. If not, hang the squeegee to dry. Remove the brushes or pad holders, rinse the brushes or pads with warm water, and remove any large debris that may be present. Inspect pads to see if they need to be changed or flipped over, and check brushes to see if they need to be replaced. If they do, then do that now. Hang clean brushes or pads up to dry. Allow buffing pads to dry completely before using again. If you have a cylindrical scrub deck installed in the machine, remove the brush, inspect for any large debris, and rinse off and set aside to dry. Remove the hopper and empty it, and rinse that too. Lift up the recovery tank to expose the batteries for ventilation while charging. Now you can plug the battery pack into the charger and charge the batteries for the next person who needs to use the machine. It's also a good idea to take a damp rag and clean off the exterior of the machine as necessary. Perform any other maintenance according to this schedule before storage. Please reference the operator's manual for the specifics on these maintenance items, as we will only cover them briefly now. Once a week, one should clean the solution filter, clean the foam vacuum exhaust filter located on the underside of the vacuum motor under the recovery tank, purge the detergent system with plain warm water, check the water level of each battery cell and add distilled water as needed. Monthly, the machine should be lubricated. Equalizing the batteries ensures each cell is at its maximum charge potential for maximum run time. This is done by fully charging the machine and then unplugging it. After a minute or two, plug the machine back in to charge it again. Repeat this one more time. After 1 year or after 300 hours, the carbon brushes in the vacuum motor should be inspected for wear. After 1 year or 500 hours, the carbon brushes scrub motor should be inspected for wear. Refer to the operator's manual or an authorized advanced service center on lubrication and carbon brush inspection and replacement. Let's review what we've discussed during this course. At this point, you should now be able to explain how to inspect and prepare the machine for use, explain how to operate the machine including the various cleaning modes and how and when to use them, identify and explain the function of each item on the control panel, understand how to inspect and prepare the machine for proper storage, and how to perform daily, weekly, and occasional maintenance tasks. That concludes this course on the use and care of the Adfinity line of automatic scrubbers.
Visit us on the web at nilfisku.com. Nilfisk University is the cleaning equipment industry's most comprehensive web-based training and interactive learning resource. Your degree in success is just a click away at Nilfisk University.